Hello everyone, welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Anvar. I'm really tired today, so I'm going to try to keep this short, but ironically, I got internet finally on Tuesday, and then there's an outage today, so here I am. Anyways, I finished 4 books this week. I finished I'm Afraid You Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle was the last one I finished, I think, actually. But I don't have it physically, so I thought I'd mention it first. And then I finished Silver Shadows by Elaine Cunningham, which is book 3 in her Songs and Swords. Also happens to be number 13 in the Harpers, but it's more open-ended series. Also finished Harpy's Flight by Megan Lindholm. I thought this was pretty good to start, and very boring, basically, for more than half the book. I mostly mentioned this last week, but this is the 3rd book I've finished by Megan Lindholm, who's more popularly known as Robin Hobb. I don't think I'll be reading anymore, or at least no time soon. Every book I've read by her has a snail's pace, and it's just I've read books that are slower and about much more mundane things that are way more entertaining. So whatever it is, she's just not entertaining. I mean, now everything I've read, admittedly, are more of her earlier works. It's Assassin's Apprentice, Harpy's Flight, and Wizard of the Pigeons, but not worth my time. Anyways, I also finished The Hammer and the Cross, book number 4 for the week, by Harry Harrison and John Holm, which is a pen name for Tom Shippey. Very fun. I was pretty much almost done with this one last week, so not really much more to say, but fun alternate history. I really like the way it deals with the character of Sheaf. Pretty interesting. So, also, while it starts off very familiar as like Viking Age stuff, it goes more into the alternate history stuff as the book goes on, such as like a very different Battle of Hastings, for example. All right. This week I've attempted to read a lot more academic things. I didn't read as much as I would like to. Sorry. It was a long day at work. It's been a long few days. Anyways, the things that make up for those long days at work, on Tuesday, had a little symposium. My brother hosted, I kind of co-hosted, I guess. That was very fun. It was humanities broadly. The topic was myth, though. A few other people there, so it was nice. It's a fun time, being able to talk about myth, and it was good. It's good. Anyways, be nice. I don't know. I hate having to think about like turning something like that into something I could use to get ahead in my career, but such is the way of my world, at least so, of the world in large part. But it was fun nonetheless. I enjoyed it. It has very intrinsic value, I feel like, in continued education. So, anyways, I did read a good number of books, so I didn't finish any of them, but so this is a book I got 4 years ago, but I picked it back up. Mostly, this book is free digitally, so just FYI. The Waning Sword, conversion imagery. I'm reading this backwards. Let's see, conversion imagery. What does that say? And celestial myth and Beowulf. Yeah, this is a picture of Freyr. Sorry, it's Freya in Old English. And the art is by Johannes Berst. Something like that. I don't remember. The color is added, I think, though. But Edward Petit, I don't know, probably Petit, so I guess how he says it. It's pretty thick. Yeah, I don't know. Enjoyable. It does go on and on and on. Much more literary criticism in some ways, but requires a knowledge of language and a lot of related literature. Read very little of the Song of the Cathar Wars, more popularly known as the Song of the Albigensian Crusade. Translation by Jeanette Shirley. I didn't read very much of it this week, sadly, but I'm enjoying it still. Again, that second poet is a very good poet. I read some of The Making of Chaucer's English. It's funny, this is something I don't remember really ever having corroborated before, but think I had the idea that most of the French loanwords came into English not after 1066, but after something more like 1204, right? And if you know that year, well, it's a year known for a few things, but one of the things it's known for is King John lost Normandy that year. And so goes the Angevin Empire bye-bye, basically, right? And you actually get most of the French words in English from that period, from 1200 or so to about 1350. And that's what this book says. And I was like, I already guessed that, so I'm glad I'm not completely dumb. One book I've been enjoying a lot this week is Woden by Stephen Pollington. I still got a good way to go. You kind of see my bookmark there. I'm further in than, I have less left than oh my goodness, I can't think. I have less to go. I have read more than I have to go. I finished chapter 3, which is almost 300 pages. I finished chapter 3 this week, and then I finished chapter 4. So I'm on chapter 5. Very, very enjoyable. Chapter 3 was very exhaustive. So it got a little dry and boring for me at times, but overall, this book has been a treat. Very enjoyable. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, very enjoyable. I'm really enjoying it. Another book I've been reading for a while. Can't remember when I got this one. Old English Tradition. It's Essays in Honor of J.R. Hall. No relation. Edited by Lindy Brady. I can't remember when I got this one. 2022. So I got this one, and I was going to read it before I read Old English Philology, which is Essays in Honor of R.D. Folk. R.D. Folk wrote one of these, actually. So he has sections on Old English Poetics, Anglo-Saxon Christianity, Beowulf, which I think that's, I'm in Beowulf right now. And codicology in early Anglo-Saxon studies, which is all stuff that I find very interesting. I was very pleased that they had codicology in particular, and here I studied a little bit of codicology. I have a certificate for it. Yeah, I'm happy. I'd like to get a certificate, something to do with archaeology. I studied anthropology. I don't really have much to show for it unless you look at my transcripts, because I almost got an anthropology degree for my 2-year degree, but I didn't, and I regret that now, but at the time I was just like, I don't want to take this one more class, so just got a general studies degree instead. It would have taken me longer, and I was going to move. I had plans to move, so anyways, but anthropology is related in part to archaeology, and so my teacher, my professor, was a cultural materialist, but also a archaeologist, Southwest. I believe for the Hopi tribe, she was actually the tribal archaeologist for several years. It's very cool. She's rather old, and she's my professor. I wouldn't be surprised she's retired now. She probably is. Very fun lady. Very fiery. Anyways, and then one book I have not actually started reading through yet, but I got. So I recently read, I think it's Daniel Shumway, I know for sure. Daniel Shumway's translation of the Nibelungenlied, which is I believe, 13th century epic written in Middle High German. I don't know any older Middle High German, sadly. I'd like to. And I like his translation. It's a little old-fashioned in some ways, but I got this translation this week by William Wobry, who also includes the Klage, the Nibelungen Klage, which is kind of like it's a separate story, kind of written around the same time, but basically the Nibelungenlied is a tragedy, and some people didn't like that it was tragic, and so the Nibelungen Klage kind of continues where the lead leaves off, and so it's tragic, I presume. I don't know. It's not as long. I haven't read any of it yet, but I'd like to. Hopefully soon. Anyways, no, it's been a good week. I'm just tired. So, but I hope y'all are good. I got a lot of books from my pal Jerry too, which is nice. It's been 9 months. I said about a year, but yeah, it has been 9 months, huh? He's very kind. I still haven't got them all on the shelf either. Actually, I need to organize that. anyways, I'm very busy. I got lots of stuff going on, but it's good stuff. I've been translating some of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle into modern English from Old English, of course, this week. That was interesting, very fun. It's cool. I saw something about Ipswich and like Viking Age homes, LinkedIn, all places, and it was like the day after I read about Ipswich being sacked by the Vikings. So, anyways, I'm just rambling now. Leave from Lyceum. Let me know what you've been up to.